Well, hello. Another week, another poll. This one's a minigame makeover. Going back and touching up all the old minigames, or skilling minigames. Um, Starting off with Wintertot. Where are the questions? Come on. Alright, question one. Should we implement a warmth meter? This is basically to replace the current health system. They go into it a bit more here. But currently the damage that you get dealt at Wintertot scales with your health. This just making it so it's more streamlined. So you're taking as much damage at 10 health as you would at 99 health. They also make it so you still do need food. So a bite of food that heals 4 or more will restore 35% warmth. The warmth is just when you take damage, your warmth drops. Very cool. And they're also thinking about making it so the rejuvenation potions that used to heal parameters, they're a 4-dose potion that each restores 30% warmth. Very cool. That's not actually being pulled that bit there. That's just sort of being baked into it. Either way, it's kind of cool. This is just a better way of doing damage at Wintertot, I think. My personal onion. Question 2, should we convert Wintertot supply crates into a pile of crates? This is more like the searching the Abyssal Guardian, or at Guardian of the Rift, or the little pool that you fish from at the end of Temporus. Instead of just having a bunch of crates in your bank. That's cool. That's nice. Why not, right? We don't need those crates. Question 3, should we allow players to swap between a main-hand and off-hand version of the Broom Torch? There's actually a few questions like this in the blog, and I think they're all pretty cool. I don't see why we shouldn't be able to. People have been asking, a main hand, Amy's sword versus an offhand, same thing in Kendo Hammer. I think if they all just have the same option to be either main hand or offhand, that'll just open up some nice, quality of life things. Depending on what activity you're doing, of course. Question 4, should we add a small invincibility window between Wintertot's regular attacks so that you'll be guaranteed at least one fletching action for being interrupted again? Again, that'll just make it feel so much better. If you've done Wintertot for a long period of time, it can get pretty bloody frustrating. I'd also like to see this expanded to be more pieces of warm outfits or maybe pyromancer outfits that you have, longer that invincibility window is. But, this is a start. I mean, Wintertot's pretty piss easy, let's be real. Next one is Guardians of the Rift. They're looking into that again. This first question, should remove the player limit cap on Guardians of the Rift and introduce dynamic scaling? I read through this. It's boring. You don't want to hear about it. Basically, you can have more people and it scales better. Alright, I don't see why there should be a hard cap. I mean, you're never really struggling to find a world, let's be real, but either way, do big old masses, that'll be nice. Why not? Sure. Again, it doesn't really affect anything, let's be real. Question 6, at Guardians of the Rift, should we reduce the scaling per player? Again, just boring nonsense. Sure, yes, no. Choose what you can read through it yourself. You made that decision yourself. It's just making it so each player scales the difficulty less. So with bigger teams, it'll be a bit easier, I guess. The Cells, Barriers, and Guardians, this one's actually a bit interesting. Currently, if you place a charge cell in an already capped barrier, you won't get any points or experience. This first question, at Guardians of the Rift, should players be allowed to build / charge barriers and Guardians while the game is still starting out? It's a loaded question. Yeah, so there are issues where you need someone building Guardians right at the start, otherwise you lose. This just make it a bit more flexible and easier, so it's not as hectic right at the start. Question 8, at Guardians of the Rift, should we allow players to gain XP and catalytic and elemental energy when recharging a barrier regardless of its HP? This is the one I want to talk about. So if you do that currently, you don't get anything. Now, it just gives you more of an incentive to use your little charge cells. When I've been doing it, I don't even bother taking any charge cells. I know, naughty me, but it's just wasting inventory space, it feels like, most of the time. This will actually encourage you to do it. Question 9, at Guardians of the Rift, should we change the cost of repairing broken barrier from 10 Guardian Essence to 12 Guardian Fragments? Didn't even know it cost that much to repair a barrier. I mean, sure, right? If that's the way they want to go with it. Again, this is such a nothing question. You don't really repair broken barriers that much, but, it could be better. 12 Guardian Fragments that's nothing compared to 10 Guardian Essence. You always have fragments on you, so why not, right? Question 10, at Guardians of the Rift, should we prevent the first wave from offering 2 weak rifts at a time, as described in the blog? If this passes an active mind or body rift, or the first wave would coincide with an elemental rift That's water or better. So basically, you get better ifs at the start. It's kind of it. There's nothing that... Sure, it's nice. It's slightly better ifs at the start. Often you'll get a mind in an air. Ooh, woo. But like, sure. It's not that... It's Guardians of, for Christ's sake. It's not that difficult. This is where they start talking about some rewards. So one of the big ones is at Guardians should we add big search option. They're pulling this for a few different ones too. It basically means you can do 5 searches at once. That saves a bit of time. Again, very non-impactful. Saves a couple of minutes maybe. Good if you're doing big searches at once. Like quite a few searches. So why not, right? Question 12. At Guardians of the Rift should we provide an option to hand in 25 business pearls for 1 Catalytic and 1 Elemental Energy. It's just adding a use for extra pearls. Although the exchange rate is pretty rough. That's, like 2 drops of pearls for 1 extra pull? I'd like to see that 25 pearls reduced to maybe 10, maybe 5 for 1 Catalytic and 1 Elemental. Either way, it's just a use for pearls that you would otherwise not be using. Question 13. Should we change the colossal pouch so that the capacity changes based on the pouches you can currently use? This is quite cool. So, little blog here for it. The current ones look like that at the top. Post looks like this at the bottom. It's a bit confusing to actually read through, I found, but basically means instead of unlocking the colossal pouch at 75, as soon as you get the drop, you can pretty much use it. Yeah, I think that's awesome. It feels like a bit of a dud drop before level 75, so that's kind of neato. Question, what are we up to? 14. Should we reduce the variance of bis per drop? So instead of being 10 to 20, it's 14 to 16. This just makes it more average. I think that's actually quite good. If you get lucky in high roll, it feels great. If you get unlucky in low roll, it feels like crap. Just having more average pearl drops, I think, will go a long way for specifically this minigame, because I don't like it. This just makes it feel that a little bit better. Miscellaneous minigame changes. Love a bit of temple tracking. Question 15. Should we remove the bog encounter? Yes. That encounter sucks. Anyone that does temple tracking uses the Mauritanian legs, 2 or 3, and you just teleport away from the bog encounter. It takes so long. It's just a waste of time. Get it out of there. They don't want to update it or fix it, so just they're replacing it with the bridge encounter with the zombie lumberjacks. So, very cool. Next question. 16. Should we increase the quantity of the nail beasts' nails that they drop, their fingernails, from 1 to 2 to 3? This is actually kind of interesting, I find. I suppose it is quite a limited monster. You can't world hop to fight it. You need to do temple tracking, so having just higher drops, I mean, sure, it will tank the price of nail-based nails quite a bit, but it will also mean there's more Sanfu serums in the game. I think that's cool. This doesn't really affect main accounts that much. I suppose the price of Sanfus will go down. But, it'll be good for Iron Men. I wouldn't have guessed that this question would be in the blog, but now that I see it, it's actually quite a nice quality of life change. I think that's cool. Question 17. Should we make the Nail Beast attack sound quieter? Why? Not a single person has ever asked for that. If you've heard them attack, it's freaking horrible, but that's just part of their character. That's who they are. It's not. I personally think it's not nice. It's a fucking horrible sound, but it makes the monster. So I don't think they should make quieter. I think that's stupid. Mahogany Homes. What are they? There's some unpolled changes they're doing. So removing the delay from tea drinking, dialogue finishing the contract, sure. Who cares? Who cares? I mean, someone probably cares. You can read it yourself. Question 18. Should we allow players to swap between main and offhand versions of Amy Saw? Went through that with the Broom Torch. I think that's actually a cool little addition. Question 19. Should we remove the furniture selection interface from Mahogany Homes? So basically, instead of having the option of doing, oak, teak, mahogany, it's you have mahogany planks, you're building a mahogany piece of furniture. Unless you have teak or mahogany and the same planks in the same inventory, then you get to choose. Sure, saves a little bit of time, makes the game feel a little bit better. Last man standing changes. Question 20. Should we adjust mapping in solos to prevent safe spawning the blue team's avatar? Yeah. Blue team has, or red team I suppose, has its slight advantage against blue team for that. Just a bit more fairness in it. I'm sure it's not that big of a deal. No one's ever complained about it, but, well, probably have complained about it. But, sure. Just make it a bit more fair. Question 21. Should we adjust trouble brewing so that players can gain an extra 10 pieces of 8 per bottle of rum they brew? This is kind of a cool one, actually, because I know what a lot of people do trouble brewing for the collection log. There's a lot of slots there, a lot of cosmetics to get. It's a hell of a slog. You see people do it. It takes hours and hours and hours, like days. This will make it a bit quicker. I'm sure there'll be some jealousy people that have done it. You've been annoyed that people get it easier than them, but stuff them. They'll be right. They're great people. Yeah, it is just per bottle of rum, so you do actually need to engage with the minigame. I think that's a cool little change. Don't know if it says if you need to win the game or not to get the extra piece of 8, but either way, it's a cool little change. 22. Should we allow bounty hunters' unique rewards to be used in PvP minigames such as Soul Wars, Castle Wars, and Clan Wars? That is interesting because not the Virtus robes, the you know what you unlock from what is it, bounty hunter, all that special gear, all the Morgans and whatnot, the Vestus longsword. I suppose that you do unlock it through a PvP minigame. Why not show it off in other PvP minigames? I think. You could argue balancing issues in Soul Wars, but no one's complaining. It'll be fine. Just let people use their PvP rewards in PvP minigames. I think that's awesome. Question 23. Should we add a quick start option to Temporis for solo players? Just skips downtime, skips needing to wait for other people. I think that's cool. Just straight in. Question 24. Should we add a big search option to Temporis? Again, 5 at a time. I think that's cool. Just saves a little bit of time there. Question 25. Should we allow players to use blighted supplies in all PvP minigames, including Clan Wars and Castle Wars? Clan Wars, why not? Castle Wars, there are other bandages inside the minigame to use for healing, but then again, if you bring in supplies in, you're going to do that regardless. I think you already can, so I don't see why not. It's PvP items for PvP and minigames. Just let people do it. I'm sure that's not game-breaking. You'll be fine. Question 26. 26. Should we allow players to swap between main-hand and off-hand versions of the Incando hammer? Sure. Why not? Again, just that little bit nicer. This one's quite interesting. So this is some changes to Valmore, or adding a new enemy, I believe. Yes, Valmore update. So there's the Sulphurous Naga, whatever they're called. This is the glacial version of it that basically drop a crush weapon instead of what's the other one? A slash one from the Sulphurous. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a double-hitting crush weapon, kind of like a weak Torag's hammer. Was anyone asking for it? Sure. It adds more variance to the game. I've been really enjoying all the new items that have been added recently. I'm sure glacial Temotli won't break the game. Looks decent. Bit of prayer on it too. That's kind of cool. Overall, I actually think it's a really cool blog. I love when they go back and touch up old content. That's exactly what I've done in it. So I think this is a great blog. I'd highly recommend you go vote on it if you can. Have your little voice heard. Alright, take care, champions. Till next time.